Hello fellow hookers, welcome to this week's video. So before I get into the video, I just want to give a huge thanks to all 400 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I am so glad you guys are enjoying my content, and I will continue making more for you guys because I have so much this summer. So this week I will be making a fun little challenge for myself, and I guess if you want to follow along you can also do it for yourself. But this is going to be a fun little random color spin the wheel kind of thing. So I'm going to be creating a bucket hat. It's going to be a granny square bucket hat. So I'm going to be using a spin the wheel app that I have on my iPad, and then I'm going to be using a granny square like a flower pattern that I found on Pinterest, which I will have it linked in my description if you want to check it out. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in that video. So the granny square pattern that I'm going to be using is called the flower square. It's a free pattern on Pinterest, and it is by Stitching Together. So it's kind of like a three-dimensional flower, which I thought would be a really cute idea. I'm going to be choosing a color for the flower here, and then most likely like the center, so that's 2 colors, and then of course around on the square. So that's going to be 3 different colors that I'm going to be choosing for the square. I'm still trying to decide if I should choose a different color for like the top of the square, because I feel like that would be kind of fun to do. So I might do 4 colors in total. So I'm going to be using this spin the wheel. It has all of these colors here. It is going to be completely random, and I'm not going to have it remove the colors once it's chosen. If it's chosen again, it's chosen again. So unless it's like chosen 3 times, then I will of course, you know, spin again. But let's go ahead and choose the color for the middle part of the flower. And it looks like it's going to be white. So okay, so the center is going to be white. Let's do the flower itself. It's blue. Okay, so it's gonna be white in the center, blue for the flower. Let's see the square. Ooh, it's gonna be a light purple. It's gonna be lilac. That's interesting. Okay. So let's see the top. So the top and maybe the brim of the hat could be a different color. Green. That's interesting. Okay. So we have our 4 colors. So it's going to be white in the center. It's going to be blue for the flower, lilac or lavender around it, and then it's going to be green. So let me go ahead and gather some colors, and then we'll go ahead and choose those from the ones that I have. Okay, so I am back with all the colors. There's a couple of options that I have, so I'm probably gonna do like another spin the wheel with numbers and like have it choose the colors for me. Obviously not with white, you know, white is basic. So we're gonna stick with this color here. I do have a couple of options for the other colors though, so let me go ahead and show you guys, and then we'll go ahead and spin a wheel for each color. Alright, so these are all the colors I have for blue. It did land on like a lighter blue rather than the darker blue, so I chose lighter colors, but I did choose a couple of maybe like a little bit of the darker sides and see which ones. So if, let's say if it lands on 10, then I'm gonna be just counting, you know, based on from lightest to darkest. All right. Okay, so 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the one that I'm going to be using. This is for the flower. All right, so now we're going to move on to the square, which was a lilac color, which is actually my favorite color. All right, so these are the options for the lilac color, like a light purple. This one's lighter and this one's a little bit darker, and then of course a little bit on the darker side here. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel for this one. Number 9. Okay, let's be real. If you know 3 times 3 is 9, so it's gonna be this darker one. And now for the actual bottom, or not bottom, but like the brim and the top of the hat. So I chose these 3. This one is kind of a blue green, but I feel like it in off camera, I guess in the camera it looks a little more on the blue side, but in real life it's more on the green side. So I am sticking to these 3. So let's go ahead and spin. Eight again. It likes really large numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're gonna do this middle color here. It's an interesting palette, I'm telling you guys. So this is the palette. I don't know how to feel about that, but it could look cute. So the center, there's the flower, there's the square, and of course the bucket hat around. That's interesting, honestly. I would have never chosen these colors together, but it could work. Alright, so for the pattern, it asks for a size 5.5 hook and size 6.5. I'm gonna give this a try. If I don't like the feeling of it, or if my hands hurt or something, then I'm gonna give the 6 hook a try. But yeah, so I'm gonna be using these 2. Of course, your scissors, stitch markers, and your needle. And yeah. Alright, so I have the white yarn here. Okay, so this is the start of the square, and then we're gonna move on to the rest. And I actually just did a color change after that first round for the, oh wait, I chose the wrong color. It has to be the lilac because it's the square, so I will be changing it to lilac instead of this blue. I kept thinking of flower, so all right, so here's the correct color that I had to use. So this is how big the square ends up being. I might make it a little bit bigger. So I might make 1 row bigger, maybe. I'll do it and see how I like it. Alright, so I did 1 more row and I think I like it like this. So I'm gonna move on to making the flower, and then the first of the 4 granny squares I'm going to be making are done. Or is done. Alright, so I had to turn on my light because it's raining outside right now, so like it's super dark. But I'm working on the flower for the granny square here. I changed it to blue, and I'm working with the 6.5mm hook. So I'm gonna see how I like that. If not, I'm gonna work with a 6mm hook. So it feels a little weird because I'm so used to like the chunkiness of the hook. So I feel like I'm gonna be working a little slower, and that's okay. Alright, so it looks like I got my first petal done, and now we're gonna continue making the rest. Okay, I had to switch to a size 6 because I could not get past the first or the second stitch. I needed to make a slip stitch and I just could not do it. So I'm doing it with this. I feel a little more comfortable with this, and I think it's just a matter of how big you want your flower to be, which I mean, I really don't mind how big it is. So I'm just gonna stick to a size 6. Alright, so I finished the first square. I think it looks not bad. I thought the color combination was going to be like a little on the weird side, but it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. I like it. We'll see how it looks like with the green though. That's something I'm not really looking forward to, not gonna lie. But yeah, so I'm gonna make 3 more of these and then I'll get started on the hat. So I finished 2 squares. I have 1 more to make, and then I will work on the flowers. I decided to make the squares first and then make the flowers after. So okay, so I finally finished all 4 squares, and I think it actually looks really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on the top of the bucket hat and then the brim. Connecting the squares, I'm gonna do it with the green yarn and see how that looks. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on how the green is gonna look, but we'll see. Okay, so I just finished the top of the hat, so I'm going to go ahead and connect the granny squares to this, and then all I have to do is just work on the brim side, and then it's done. It's actually taken me about like 2 hours now, 3 almost. So the way I'm going to be connecting the top to the squares is I'm going to be doing some single crochets. I was thinking of doing maybe slip stitches, but this is how it will look like from the outside. So the seam will be on the inside and the outside will be nice and like smooth, I guess. That's basically what I'm gonna be doing. Doesn't look too bad, I guess. I mean, I feel like the green is a little too on the bright side for these colors, but doesn't look too bad. It's very like spring, I guess, you know, like a little plant. So I connected the first squares. I think I like it like that. Basically, I'm going to be connecting the 2 back loops with a slip stitch. So it's kind of hard to show, but I'm just going to be slip stitching. That way the slip stitch is on top and not like on the side the way it normally does. And yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, so I connected all the squares and I'm on the last one here. So instead of finishing it off, I'm gonna continue making some crochet or single crochets all around, and then I will be working on the brim. Sorry, so I said single crochet. I meant to say half double crochets. I've been doing half double crochet for this thing, so I'll be doing half double crochets around here until it creates a whole brim, and then it'll be done. I finally finished it. It only took me like 3 hours or so, but I actually kind of like it. It's very spring. The green definitely appears a lot brighter on camera, but it's actually not bad in person. I love the 3D flowers. I thought that was a really good idea, so it came out really good. I did do 5 rows of the half double crochet in the bottom here, so I think it looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it on and see if it fits, because I totally guessed on the size of the squares. So let's see. Oh, it fits like a glove. Oh, I really like it. It's cute. I might have to do another one of these challenges in the future maybe, because I really like the way it came out. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. And with that, I hope to see you lovely hookers in my next video. Bye!